know how many of you are here just yet, so I will give us about a minute in which I will have a word about what's going on. I think we don't have anyone just yet, so I will kind of give it a second. Today, if you are watching this back, we are talking about phrasal verbs, and we are going to help you guys test your knowledge about phrasal verbs and how to use them in many different contexts and many different ways. If you don't know what a phrasal verb is where you take a normal verb and you mix it with another word, and it creates like this awesome verb. You see, you can use this verb in many different ways, many different contexts, and they are very helpful in being understood a lot better in English. I am not sure how many people are here just yet before I start, so I will have a look. I'm going to try and get the chat up here. Okay, I've got the chat here. So let me just give it a few minutes here before proceeding. If anyone is here just yet, put in the comments how your week has been. Send a hi, and I will try and respond to as many of those as I possibly can. I will give it a few minutes before we've got this. But yes. So let me just review. We have some people tuning in now. I just got the notification on my phone telling me that this started, so I'm guessing that people are going to start coming in now. Send hi in the chat if you've just joined, and I will respond to those. And we're just waiting for everyone to come in to really start the video. How are you all doing today? Let us know if you can hear everything properly as well, or see everything, as that is important. How are you all? There we go. This reminds me, I watch a lot of live videos on YouTube, and there's always that first bit where they're waiting. There we go. We got a few more people in. Send hi's in the chat. Let me know you're here. Okay. All right. In the next minute, we will begin. And hello, Zam. Nice to see someone is here and ready. And I hope that you're excited for today's lesson. In a moment, I will explain what we are doing today, as you can probably see from the title. And we will actually get started really soon. What is the weather like in all of your countries today? Let me know, Uzam, what is going on? What is the weather like where you are? There we go. And we are going to start very soon. All right, let's get started. So I have the chat here. So as you guys come in, I will respond to messages as we go. So don't hesitate to put anything down there, and I will respond as we head on. So today, as you can see there, we are talking about phrasal verbs. There we go. So if you don't know what a phrasal verb is, I will let you know. And if you do, it's always good to remember and to go over it again and to revise things. So a phrasal verb is when you take a verb and you mix it with another word. So let's have a look at one. So here we have look up. So you have the verb to look. That is a normal verb on its own. But when we add the preposition after it, up, the direction here, we are changing the meaning. And it doesn't mean that it doesn't just mean that you're looking up, you see. It can mean other things that maybe the translation doesn't even translate into your language. So that is why, a bit like idioms, they're good to just learn and to practice, because what it will do, it will help you to be able to express yourself a lot better while speaking English. And also it will help you to be able to enrich in your language, to sound more like a native speaker, and all of that fun stuff. So it is all good to learn and all good to practice. And today we are going to have a look at some of them and what they mean. So as I go through them, I want you to put through in the comments section what you think they mean. I'm going to give you a second, and then I will tell you what they mean. Of course, yes, I will answer you today. If you have any questions, do put them in the comments, and I will get back to you about that as much as I can. And I will try and answer your question the best I can. So put them in the comments as we go, and I will help. So let's get started on this. As I just said here, so I will read it just in case you can't see it. So a phrasal verb is a combination of a verb and one or more particles that together take on a meaning different from the original verb. This is kind of what we just said. For example, the verb to look can be combined with different particles to create phrasal verbs with distinct meanings. Let's look at some of them, shall we? As I just said, look up. It doesn't just mean, as I said, to look up. It can also mean, what do you think look up can mean in the context of, I will look up this person's name? If you can, I'll give you about 10 seconds and then I will move on with it. What do you think look up means? I will look up that person's name. Yes, so to look up means to search for some kind of information. So I mean, a lot of looking up that we do at the moment has something to do with the internet. So I will look up this celebrity's name. I will look up this English tense. And this is how we use this phrasal verb. And we use them quite commonly. So don't think just because they're quite different from your language that we don't use them. We use them a lot. So to look up something means to search for some kind of information. And here it says in a reference material. If you don't know the meaning of a word, it's a good idea to look it up in the dictionary. You see, to look something up. Hello, Sabrina. Nice to see that you're here. And I hope that you enjoy this live and that you follow along. So yes, it's a good idea to look it up in the dictionary. You're looking for the information in the dictionary, and that is that. The second one that we have here is look out. Look out. So we use how do we use to look out in English? Can you let me know in the comments what you think we use this one with? I'll give you 10 seconds again. Keeping hydrated as much as I can. There we go. And I think that's enough time. And just remember, keep on putting them in the comments throughout and letting me know what it means. Yes, Sabrina, very good. So yes, look out means to warn someone of something. So to be careful. So you might use it in the context of, oh, look out, there's a car coming from the left. As it says here, look out, there's a car coming fast from the left. So be careful so you don't get hit by the car. You see, it's a warning, basically. So yeah, good job, Sabrina. And as you can see in the chat here, we have a link that you can click on and you can get a PDF of the course. And that way you can have it in your spare time, in your free time, or when you're watching the video. And it's always good to have the PDF because you can go and use it anytime you want. So it is totally worth it, in my opinion. Let's now move on to the next thing. And what you might have realized, or if you came to our last lives, you will see the words with the red bits after them. So the red bits are the transcriptions of the pronunciations. And what they're doing is they are showing you how to pronounce these words that we believe are probably going to be a bit tricky for English speakers to learn, and they will be good for you to practice. So today we are going to go through these words and have a look at how they are pronounced. So first up, we have look up. Look up. So if you want to repeat, one more time, look up. Fabulous. Second one, we have look out. Remember to get that ow sound in the out, because in English we use a lot of this ow sound. Look out. It's almost as if someone's pinched us. Ow, ow, look out. And that is how we get that noise. So yeah, the more you practice that sound, the better you will get at it. And I promise you, keep practicing it, keep following along, and you can always go back in this video and keep just practicing, going over the pronunciation. Because if sounding like a native British speaker is your goal, then that is what will help, because just drilling it and practicing it is what will get you to that next level. There we go. Now let's move on to the next slide, shall we? So yeah, let's test your knowledge of phrasal verbs. So here we have some sentences with phrasal verbs and they're missing their particles. So this is a fun game for you to practice your phrasal verbs. We're going to look at them in the context of the quiz, and then we're going to go through them. I'm going to ask you what they mean and how we would use them, and we're going to have fun doing that, I promise. So let's go, and your task is to fill the blanks in with the correct particle, as you can see. So, number one, I will read it out and then I will wait for your answers. I ran milk, so I need to buy some more. I ran milk, so I need to buy some more. What do you think in the chat is the particle that we're missing here? So it would be two. Yes, Sabrina, very good. So I ran. Another second for the other people watching. Okay, so the right answer is I ran out of milk. And we would use to run out, meaning to not have it, like you had something before and now you don't have it anymore, and maybe you need to go and get some more. So I ran out of that thing. It's almost like you've been running and you run out of it. There we go. Okay, thank you, Sabrina, for putting that in the chat. Unfortunately, I can't read French, so I can't tell you anything about that, but I'm sure that that was very helpful. Okay, next up we have, he's always showing parties uninvited. Okay, let's go again. He's always showing parties uninvited. Okay, give you another second to do this one. Good job for the last one, guys. And no matter what, you're practicing and you should be proud of yourself. So let's wait for a few seconds on this one. He's always showing at parties uninvited. What do you think it is? Okay, another 10 seconds, I think. And then we will move on with that. Okay, I think that's been enough time now. So, he's always showing up parties uninvited. So the phrasal verb here is to show up. To show up somewhere means to get to that place. You see, maybe you are trying to get to a party. You're going to show up to that party. You want to get to work. I showed up today. It means you went there, and either you were invited or you weren't, but you showed up. You went there. Let's move on to the next one here. Could you please fill this form? Okay, once more. Could you please fill this form? What do you think the right answer is here? To fill, what do we fill? To fill something, a form. What do you think it is? Yeah, you could fill out. So could you please fill out this form? Could you please fill? Okay, yeah, very good. And you could also use in as well. So fill in this form or fill out this form. I would personally use both in my daily life. I would say, oh, I'm filling in the form or I'm filling out the form. So actually, I know you all put in different answers here, but actually, in my opinion, you're all right here. So unless there's some kind of grammar that means that one of them is more correct than the other, I don't believe so. Okay, so next we have she's thinking moving to Australia. One more time. She's thinking moving to Australia. Really good job, guys. I'm seeing all of your messages here and you're all crushing it. You're doing so well. Now let's get this one. So this one, so she's thinking moving to Australia. So to think doing something. What do you think it is? I will give you another 10 seconds and then I will move on. I'm sure that you guys know. Okay, we can move on here. So what it is, oh, someone's just commented. So you said you said out. Let's see. So she's thinking out. So it is maybe you meant to say this, but it's about as so sorry, I can't pronounce your name properly. I don't want to not do it justice, so I won't say this. But yes, about is correct. Um so she's thinking about moving to Australia, or she's thinking of moving to Australia. You could use so actually with phrasal verbs, there are quite often where you can use multiple in some different situations, and it isn't too strict. I mean, you want to use the right ones, of course, but there are sometimes phrasal verbs that are used in quite similar ways, and you can use them as such. So don't stress too much if you can't remember exactly the right one, but try and remember what each one is about, generally in their most common meanings. She's thinking about moving to Australia. Yeah. Number 5. They had to put the meeting because of the snowstorm. They had to put the meeting because of the snowstorm. What do you think this one is? I'll give you a hint. It's none of the things that we've seen so far. So it's not in, about, or out. Yes, good one. Very good. Yeah, put off the meeting. Exactly. So if you didn't have time to get that one, um, no worries, and well done. Anyway, I'm sure that you did great. Let's see. So put off means to postpone. Yes, exactly, exactly. So they're putting something off for a certain amount of time. Um, and you could also use it almost to procrastinate something as well. So you're putting off doing your work. And this is another way in which we could use the phrasal verb to put off. Yep, good job, Uzum, if I'm saying that right. There we go. And let's move on to the next one, shall we? Um, next one we have, I wish he would open his feelings. What do you think this one is? To open. I think this is another one that we haven't had just yet, so that is a good hint for you. So, oh, we've got someone. Okay, someone has said it. I will give the rest of you another 10 seconds to get it. So, because I don't want to just say it as soon as the first person's got it. I want to give you guys a chance. All right. Okay, I think that's been about as much time as we need. So I wish he would open up about his feelings. So yes, to open up means to be more open, to be more open to discussing your feelings, and not as closed off to discussing these things with people. And that is quite a common one that we would hear when speaking English, to open up about something. Um, Great. Where are we? We are here. So number 7. You need to cut sugar to improve your health. So to cut, what's this one? What do you think? Let's see. I know that you guys know it. And I'm sure that in the next 10 seconds I will see the messages come in. I actually don't know how long the delay is between me and you guys. So it might be a second, it might be a bit longer. So it's good if I give you a bit of time there, I think. So let's now wait. I'm going to wait until a couple of people have put their answers. We have down, we have out. I will try them both. You need to cut out on sugar to improve your health. No, we wouldn't say this one. So we would say you need to cut down on sugar. And I mean, the thing with phrasal verbs is if you've never heard something or heard something in context, it's pretty much impossible to, unless it's very close, and the meaning is quite close to actually almost like if you're saying look up, as in actual looking up. But that's not really a phrasal verb anyway. So yes, down is correct. So you need to cut down on sugar. So to cut down means to doesn't mean to completely take it out of your diet, but it means to eat less of something. To cut down on something means to bring it down. You see? And this is quite a common small talk, one used in small talk when we're talking about our diets, the things that we're eating, and things like this, because people quite often saying, "Oh, I want to cut down on sugar, cut down on salt," so on and so forth. Okay, number 8 here we have the company is planning to branch into new markets. So to branch, what do you think it is? Yes, Sabrina, to cut down means to reduce. Absolutely. Oh, I need to watch my posture as I'm sitting down in these lessons. If you ever see me slouching, put it in the comments because it's not good. Okay. All right. I'm gonna see. Okay, you've said off. Let's see. I'm gonna wait for some other messages here. If they're coming through, I'll give 10 seconds here. So I'm going to try these both here. So the company is planning to branch off into new markets, or the company is planning to branch out into new markets. So once again, here's one that I can hear both working. You know, I believe that branch out is more of the formal English way of using this, but you would be understood very much if you said branch off. I believe this is much more. This is used much more if you're talking about branching off into different areas. You see, you're branching off away from something, but branching out means to branch to broaden your horizons a little bit more. Let's see. Yep. So all comments here are very good. Thank you guys for sending in your answers here. It is making it very fun, and I am enjoying seeing you all doing this very well. So let's move on to the next one. Number 9. He passed opportunity to study abroad. Okay, what do you think the answer is here? He passed an opportunity to study abroad. Sorry, there we go. Hello, nice to see that you're here. Welcome. If you have just joined, we are looking at some phrasal verbs, and we have just been doing a small test here to practice. And if you've missed anything, you can always go back in the live here and watch it from the beginning and go through it. Or you can actually stay live now, answer the questions here, and then go back to the start afterwards and then catch up from there. So, whatever you want to do, but welcome, and I'm glad that you're here. So to pass on means to miss. So to pass on, which one was that? So yes, so he passed on an opportunity, or he passed on an opportunity to study abroad. Yes, so we would use this one to say that you decided not to do something. You missed it, but it was on purpose that you missed it. You passed on that, and we would use on here. He passed up an opportunity. So he passed up an opportunity to study abroad. There we go. So no, so we would yes, so we would use he passed on an opportunity to study abroad here. There we go. Number 10. It's time to throw those old socks. Sorry, I completely can't read right now. It's time to throw those old shoes. Go. I'll give you another 10, 15 seconds here. I'm sure you guys know this one. I think that you will be able to do this one pretty easily. To throw something. Okay. And I think that you sent these ones at the same time. So yeah. Okay, so let's have a look at this because actually, once again, you've both put different answers, but it's very interesting the way that you've put them. So to throw something away, yes, you throw something away. You throw it in the trash. You throw it out of the house. Basically, it's time to throw away those old shoes. Yes, this works. Or it's time to throw out those old shoes. Once again, both work and both would make complete sense in this context here. Last but not least here, we have they grew in a small village in the countryside. They grew in a small village in the countryside. Okay, I'm seeing some messages coming in now. If you can get a few more in there, and then we'll move on, as this, I believe, is the last one on this test. I don't know what's on the next slide here. Let me see. Yeah, there we are. No, so we got a few more things there. Yeah, guys, really, really good job. Really good job. So yes, grew up. So to grow up somewhere means that's where you spent your childhood, where you got where you went from being a kid to growing up. We call the process of getting older growing up. So they grew up in a small village in the countryside. We would usually use to grow up in the sense of growing as a child. We wouldn't really say an adult grew up from being an adult, you see? So this mainly means that they were kids when they moved to the small village and they grew up there. They got older there. Great, really good job, guys. You should give yourself a round of applause. So I'm super proud. You should be super proud too. And we're going to move on to the last slide here. Yeah, once again, very good job. So let's look here. So our answers and our explanations here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so to download the slides, go over to ISpeakSpokeSpoken _ EN. We're going to look at some of the answers here. And as I said before, understandably, maybe some of the answers aren't exactly what you said. But as I said before, we quite often have multiple phrasal verbs that can work for multiple situations. So don't worry if you didn't say exactly the same one. If I told you that it was correct, then it works, you see? And we're going to have a look here. So let's look. So number one, I ran, and the answer is out. So to run out of something, and it means to have no more of something. And it's usually something like a spray, a body wash, maybe some food. It's I ran out of that thing. I need to go and get some more. Sorry, drinking the water has meant that I can't talk too well right now. And here we go. So next up we have, he's always showing up. Means to arrive at a place, especially unexpectedly. So yeah, you're showing up somewhere without someone having, like, without someone knowing that you would have actually been there in the first place. Next we have, could you please fill this form? The answer was in. So to fill in a form, this means to complete by adding detail. So maybe you're adding your name, you're adding your email address, and all sorts of things like this. Next here we have, she's thinking moving to Australia. So the answer here was of. So thinking of suggests considering something. And I remember we had about as well, thinking about moving to Australia, but both would work and both have the complete right meaning there, you see. So thinking of moving to Australia. So it suggests considering something. Next up, we have, they had to put off the meeting. This means to postpone, and it's exactly as I believe Sabrina said. It's to postpone something, to delay it happening. Okay. Next one we have, I wish he would. I wish he would open about his feelings. And the answer here is up. So open up about his feelings. This means to start talking freely about something. Next up, we have number 7. You need to cut on sugar to improve your health. The answer was cut down. Yes, so to cut down on. It means to reduce the quantity or frequency of something. So cut down on food, cut down on doing something. And that is how we use that one. Let's now look at number 8. The company is planning to branch into new markets. And this one is branch out. It means to expand or extend one's interest or activities. Next, we have number 9. He passed opportunity to study abroad. And the answer here is passed up. So you pass up on an opportunity to study abroad. It means to decline or to refuse, to decide. It's a decision to not do something here. And that's how we use that one. Next, we have number 10. It's time to throw old shoes. And we would say to throw away. It means to discard of something. And last but certainly not least, we have number 11, which is they grew in a small village in the countryside. And the answer is up. Grew up. So it means to spend the childhood or a significant part of life in a place or condition. So they grew up in the countryside. And this is how we use that one. Let's now look at some of these red words, shall we? And go through these before we head off today. Number 1. Ow sound. Out. So repeat after me. One more time. Out. Very good. Number 2. Up. Very good. I can hear you from here. Number 3, we have in. Keep practicing, guys. Next one. So here we have of and off. So a bit different. So practice the differences in the sound here. So of, it's got that v sound instead of the f sound. If you can hear the difference. V and f. Off is this one, and of is this one. You can see our v next to the o here. Oh, so of, if you want to repeat after me. And number 5 here, we have off. Next up, we have number 6, which is up. Sound at the end. Up. Great. Here we have down. The sound that we heard earlier on, the ow, is in the middle of this word. So down. Great. Next up, we have which one? It's last but not least, actually. We have away. Great. Really good job, guys. And just to quickly run through them, we have to run out, show up, to fill in, to think of, to put off, open up, cut down on something, branch out, pass up, throw away. All right, so that is all of those. Do you now have any questions to put in the comments, and I will happily answer them. So if you could put those down in the comments, I would be very happy to answer. So I will wait for your comments now and see what we have, because I believe these slides really covered a lot of phrasal verbs that should help you. And if you didn't know any of them, you can now enrich your vocabulary with these and the things that you can now say. Because actually, I mean, the thing that these phrasal verbs do is quite similar to normal verbs, but actually it allows you to be that bit more specific while you're speaking. So yes, thank you, and I really enjoyed this one. So if you have any questions, please don't worry. Please put them in the comments section below, and I will happily answer them. I will give you about half a minute here if you have any questions here, and if you don't, I think that will be all that we have done. I think that'll be all for today. I think, let's see where we are. No worries, Uzam. Do you have any questions about anything that we talked about? Let's see. A question that I can think that some people might have, I will say this while you're actually writing anything in, is that some people might ask how commonly these are used in English, because as I said before, like idioms, they're not like they don't translate at all into other languages, really. They translate very differently into different languages. So some people might think that they're not used much, but that is quite the contrary. We use them very naturally in English. So to actually be able to use these means to be able to understand a lot better and to be able to speak a lot better while speaking to people in English. And you will sound much more like a native speaker when you do. I think that I have covered everything here, and I don't think that any of you have any questions here. So I am very glad that you enjoyed the course. I'm seeing all of your thanks here, and no worries at all. It's been a pleasure. Just keep practicing. You can always go back to the start of this and go through it again. Keep practicing. Go over to ISpeakSpokeSpoken and ISpeakSpokeSpoken English and have a look at some of our videos there, as we have many great ones over there. And I look forward to seeing you in our next live video. So have a great one, guys. I had a great time. I hope you did. And yeah, I've been James. We've been ISpeakSpokeSpoken. And have a great one, guys.